Good evening, everyone. If anyone's going to join us.
Here we go. People are coming in.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Thanks for joining. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi all. Happy Sunday.
Yeah. Hope you've had a good day. It's been really rainy and a bit miserable weather where we are.
It's officially the winter.
We did actually say that it was like almost like going into Christmas season.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's way too early.
No, I think it's fine because I feel like there's not loads more to look forward to. So Christmas, I'm happy to start Christmas.
You
early.
said you'd start Christmas films.
I'd start now, and then it's just, it's good to go.
Hey guys, thanks for joining. And yeah, it's been a few months since we did a live, our first live, and so we just felt like we just wanted to firstly just say a big thank you to everybody that has joined the Everyday Racism community. Because obviously for us, when we started this, we had no expectations of how the page would grow. We just wanted to start this project, start this platform, and we didn't have grand plans for where it would lead. And yeah, it has grown significantly over the last few months, and some of you have just been so supportive. Your comments, your messages that you send us. Recently we set up a PayPal, and some of you have donated for our time and resources that you've used. And so we just want to say thank you, because that support really does mean so much to us. And we haven't always, known how to communicate that thanks. So yeah, we want to start by saying thanks, guys.
Yeah, for sure. It's been such a journey, and I don't think we ever thought that it would kind of grow like it has, and that people have engaged as much as you have. And yeah, so I just want to say thank you for that. And also we've got such exciting things coming up as well, which is really amazing. So we're so blessed to be able to take the platform elsewhere, and we can't say too much just yet, but once we can, we'll be able to share some really good news, and hopefully just keep taking the everyday racism conversation much further and wider. So yeah, it's pretty wild actually, but
it is.
Yeah. But yeah, we just want to say thank you, and thank you for all the people that kind of, invite us to speak and share and all of that sort of thing, because, all these conversations are so important. And thank you to everyone who is doing the work and is listening, learning and doing the work. So yeah,
absolutely. So one of the reasons we wanted to do this live is because this week we did a post which was entitled Developing Anti-Racist Schools. And obviously not everybody that follow us is linked to education, and not everybody will have children who go attend a school or a nursery or anything like that. But what we wanted to do was just explain why we did that post, and why we just feel like it is so important to, if you haven't already, read that post. If you have, maybe go back and have a look at what we asked you to do. And if it's still not relevant to you, think about the people that it's relevant for. You probably have a friend or a family member where that information will be relevant, and so we really encourage you to go back and have a look. And you may or may not know, but Natalie and I both work with young people. I'm a teacher and Natalie runs an event for young people, and she also has always done youth work and voluntary youth work. And one of the areas that we feel really strongly about in terms of doing anti-racism work is with the next generation. So we know that lots of people have woken up to what's really going on, and they have, had a bit of a light bulb moment and been educating themselves, and they've seen what has people's experiences are. And how people have to battle and fight just to be seen and heard and taken seriously, and even just to exist. And that's great that people have done that. And we often in Instagram live in a real echo chamber. But Natalie and I are really conscious to break that. And so we do purposefully go out and read, things that don't always back up what we're saying, because we want to see what is actually really going on out there. And I'm sorry to say that it's not good, and there is a lot to be done. Just recently we've been involved in a project in our hometown to build a massive cultural centre which will focus on black and brown creativity. It will be for artists. We're hoping to run some of our anti-racism work from there. It will have educational facilities, etc. And the first crowdfunder raised £30,000. Some of you donated to that. Thank you. And that's going to get that project off the ground. But on the flip side of that, it's been met with a lot of animosity from local town members. The cultural centre looks incredible. It really does. The people that are running that project are doing amazing work, but it's not all positive. There are people that have been very anti what's going on, and if we don't want to immerse ourselves in this, but if you take a look at some of the comments under the newspaper articles about it, it's quite scary what people are saying about it. And so we are really conscious that one of the ways that we can make a difference is by ensuring that young people have quality education and are taught how they can be effective allies, because they are the hope for the future. And we know there are schools that are engaging, and they have their own staff members have been learning, they've been looking at their own action plans, they've been looking at their curriculum, and obviously that's fantastic. But unfortunately we're getting a lot of messages from teachers, and we're getting messages from school students who are saying, my school are doing nothing, my school have been silent, I've had horrendous experiences at my school. We've even heard of a head teacher who did an assembly on All Lives Matter. You heard me correctly. They did an All Lives Matter assembly. So, and that just takes me back to my school experience and some of the horrendous things I had to listen to teachers say. And some of the things I had to sit through in lessons that other students said.
Same. I mean, one of your stories, isn't it, on the page, is of you at school. Is about
one of the texts that we were taught, which was all about enslavement. We're from the UK, guys. And one of the texts we got taught was all about enslavement, and I was made to write a thank you letter to the slave owner for allowing me to escape. That was the homework task.
Yeah.
And when my mum saw me doing it, thankfully we had a great mum who was extremely, educated on these matters, and she just grabbed it, ripped it up, said, "You are no way doing that," and put it in the bin. And, but not all young people, black and brown young people, have got parents or carers that can advocate for them in that way. And, it is really on our hearts that nurseries, education providers, schools, colleges, because that's our area where we kind of know what we're dealing with, make a change. Firstly, to their curriculum. Secondly, to their staff training. Diversity and inclusion training is not anti-racism training. They're two different things. And there is nothing in teacher training, absolutely nothing in the UK I'm talking about, where you have to do any sort of anti-racism training. I've been a teacher for over 15 years and I have never had to do any training to do with anti-racism. Now, I obviously have myself, and I've taken that upon myself, and also being brown, I have my lived experience. So I understand a lot about what it's like to be the minority in a school and to never have any black or brown teachers. But that is not the case for all teachers, and it's not the case for all schools. So one of the things, that's great. My daughter's secondary school just did a training day for the staff in anti-racism. We're in Hertfordshire. That's brilliant. That's great to hear. Thank you for sharing that, Lenny. That's what we want to hear. But where, that's not the norm. That's not the feedback we're getting from a lot of people. We get messages from teachers who are really struggling. They're upset. They've approached it. They've had knockbacks that from their senior leadership team. They don't feel supported. So we created that post because we need you guys as allies to take this on. It is not for black and brown teachers and staff members, and obviously support staff as well, absolutely included in this. It's not for them to be having to fight for this in their schools. This is what allyship is about. It's about advocating for others on behalf of others, where you hold power and privilege. And this is how you use your privilege. So it's about taking the time, because it's not something that's just going to happen by having a quick conversation or posting something on the internet. Download the letter, read what we've written, adapt it in any way you feel fit. Whatever you need to change, it's yours to play around with and make appropriate to the school, the nursery, the educational provider you're sending it to. And let's send those letters to the schools. And it's not about being the difficult parent or the difficult carer and feeling guilty because you're putting pressure on a school that's already dealing with COVID and things like that. Schools have so much to deal with all the time. They're very fast moving. Lots of decisions have to be made. There's never going to be a right time to do this. And actually, this is the right time. Because we know that things are changing and we need to make the impact now. We've woken up, we've seen what people are living with every day, and we're saying it's not good enough, we're not going to accept it, but then we have to do the action. And so the action that we are saying to do is, let's make a change for those young people.
Exactly. And I think as well what's really important is this is just one step. So there is going to be so much more down the line, and you know, we can send the letter, that's brilliant, but we need to keep chasing it. We need to keep asking. We need to keep schools accountable and not let schools think that, oh, it's just one letter, we won't hear anymore. You know, keep chasing this up, asking what is your plan for the year? What are you going to be doing? I want to know everything. I want to see the outline and keep going.
Yeah.
So that it has got weight to it. This, you know, it's not, we did a post about performative allyship, and it needs to be proactive. It needs to be have weight. It needs to have legs. It needs to, you know, actually make a real change. So this is step one, but we need to keep going and going and going until we see real change.
Yeah. And then somebody just said it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable conversation. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you will bring these things up and you're just gonna, oh yeah, great, tell us everything. We want to do it all. You know, we want to implement everything. You're gonna get met with, we haven't got the budget. Oh, we're already doing this. You know, and actually, you know, we've got to keep pushing. So honestly, it's not really down to the schools. If the government don't change the curriculum, then there's no real change definitely happen in terms of teaching. I don't actually agree with that. I absolutely agree with you about we need to also focus on the government changing the curriculum. Yeah, I do agree with that. And we follow the Black curriculum. If you don't already, they are their work is incredible, and they have been doing that work longer than we have in terms of lobbying the government. So yes, I agree with that. However, each individual school can still make changes to what they are, schemes of work that they're teaching. They absolutely can do that. So for example, I teach a syllabus, and I have texts that I can choose from. And I obviously can choose if I want, you know, texts that are written by Black writers, or if I'm going to stick to, you know, just the white writers, okay? Or PSHE. There is loads you can do in that would link to anti-racism. Tutor time. You have tutor time normally in the morning and in the afternoons in some schools. You can use that time to do things. Clubs, societies. My school have just set up an Active Allies Society. So there's going to be a group of students that are going to be kind of advocates for how to be an ally. So there is so much that can be done, and budget as well. A lot of these things, I'm afraid they're just excuses. They are. It's not, I'm not saying the government are doing an incredible job at funding all of this and schools are like flush. Of course not. I've been a teacher over 15 years. I get it. I do get it. But there is still change until we see the government make those changes from the top. There is loads that we can be doing in schools. And as parents and carers, we do have power. I've got children at school, and I do have power to meet with the head teacher and influence. I can write to the governors of the school and ask them what they're doing. PTA groups who raise money for schools. You know, let's think about, you know, the books that are in school, you know, maybe doing fundraisers, and, you know, instead of the things that we did last year, let's change it up and do something different this year. I know about a project that somebody set up to raise money for boxes of books that celebrate diversity and inclusion, and they're going to deliver the boxes with schemes of work to implement it in the school where there just is no representation in those books. So there is stuff that can be done. And, you know, sometimes it is frustrating with the government. You know, it really is. They rejected changes that the black curriculum put forward. Gavin Williamson wasn't interested, it's no surprise. And it was really frustrating, but that doesn't mean we can just sit back and say, oh, well, they're not supporting it. We can still do so much. Yeah. Have we got a question?
Don't know.
Oh, I don't know. That's not relevant. Someone's put no representation in staff alone. Yeah, that obviously is another major issue, and something we didn't put in the letter, but again, something that can be added about representation in school. You know, my son, we live in a white majority area, and my son attends a school with all white teachers. There is nobody of colour at the school, which is, you know, is really disappointing. And it's a small infant school as well. My girls are at an infant school, reception year 2. Any tips on what I can include as far as the curriculum is, what kind of action is suitable at that age? Yeah, so I mean, obviously the school for the early years and reception, the standards are different to secondary school, but there'll be some more general ones. So, for example, I think it's still entitled Behaviour and Tolerance, which, you know, again, is something that I challenged in my own school about this word tolerance, but it is an Ofsted word that they use. But I know my friend that's a primary head has used that standard to include Black Lives Matter on the curriculum, obviously to teach them all about the movement. And then that is where they would probably include things like Black History Month and their diversity work. So they will know the standards that it will link to. You know, you don't have to write that for them. And there is so many resources out there as well. So there's Show Racism the Red Card. They have got a whole programme of anti-racism training for teachers. They've got it online that they discount. I think it works out £11 per staff member. And they also have trainees that come in as well, anti-racist educators that come in and train staff, and they have lessons and lesson plans. So the work is actually out there. Like the other day I was just looking on BBC for some stuff. They have done so many lessons for Black History Month. Don't worry about it now, it's at the moment. They've done so many lessons for Black History Month. And so, you know, you can get these resources. A lot of them are already done. It's just about including them and making them a priority. You know, there was a scheme of work that my son was doing about fairy tales. Okay, lovely. Like it's nice to learn about fairy tales, but to be honest, age 6, I kind of feel like there's other stuff that could be priority over learning about fairy tales, to be honest with you. You know, and we do have a certain amount of autonomy in the subject matter that we teach. You have to teach the standards. He needs to know his phonics, but they're not telling you the subject that you learn your phonics through. So why can't he learn about writing sentences by learning about Rosa Parks?
Yeah.
My son is past school age now and he doesn't have the option. He doesn't see colour, privilege, etc. Okay, yeah. So that's better. And his school didn't have an option of a black curriculum. He doesn't see colour, understands white privilege and doesn't discriminate. That's parenting. He doesn't see colour. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, it's problematic.
That's problematic. I mean, obviously I think what you're saying is that he didn't learn about it at school, but you did it at home. yes, really important. I challenge the doesn't see colour thing, understands white privilege, that's important. Yeah, of course we can do loads at home, but not everybody's doing it at home. So, question them about what they're doing, not just one assembly. Yes, such a good point. Such a good point. So with Black History Month, oh, are you doing anything for Black History Month? Oh yeah, we had an assembly on it. Okay, great. That's not celebrating Black History Month. That's just doing a token assembly on it and thinking you've ticked a box. Really important to question that. Rosa Parks, yeah, only 7-8, understood. Yeah, I did in lockdown, I did a little session with my 6-year-old about Rosa Parks, found resources on BBC, showed him a video. He learnt all about it. We made a poster and things, and now if you asked him, he'd know who she was, and he'd know what she did it for, etc. And he's 6, so there we go. The only privilege that exists. Oh, okay. So we've got some racist friends visiting us. Thank you. Yes, okay, great. We'll move on. Diwali, Black History Month Assembly, World Food Day, Chinese New Year doesn't mean they actually teach about diversity. Yeah, absolutely. Tokenistic stuff doesn't mean anti-racism. I had a friend that wrote to her local nursery school and asked what they did, and she got 3 screenshots of books about religious festivals. That's not anti-racism work. No. That's not helping kids to understand difference and celebrating difference and understanding how they can be allies. That's teaching about religious festivals. Yeah, wow. Thanks for shedding a light on this and educating others. Thanks, guys. Really, really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah. If you haven't actually seen the post, then please go and have a look. And we've got a link in our bio as well, so you can see the letter. There's resources in there as well. So please have a read and just see actually what you can do.
Yeah, and someone just asked about links and resources. So as well as the letter, we created a page, a resource page for teachers, carers and parents, but it's for youth workers, it's for anyone that works with young people, has grandchildren, like anyone who just wants to learn more about anti-racism. Black Nursery Manager is amazing. Yes. She is on there. She's one of the people that we mentioned. Yeah. Oh, is she here? I think she joined us. So she's on there as a resource. So, and does training, not just a resource. She does excellent training. She's someone to follow. But you can have that, and that's free. So you can send that to your mum who is a primary school teacher, and hopefully it'll help. There's some podcasts on there for people that are just starting that anti-racism journey, which a lot of teachers probably are. Please check that out and share that post. I think that was the main thing we wanted to chat about this evening, and just to encourage you to please keep going. We've just opened the door, like we're just literally peeking through the door, like we're not there, guys, but if we work together we can make a difference. We just want to keep going. One of the challenges at my school are the views that our children are told from home. All lives matter, because they heard it from home. Yeah, absolutely, of course. So we've got Runnymede Trust is great. Yeah, we put their report in our resource page. Read the report, really, really interesting. All lives matter. Well, if you're following us, you probably now understand that all lives matter is not a phrase that we would ever use or endorse. We've got a post on why. And so that is just about bringing, you could do that in class quite easily, discuss, you know, why this is a really unhelpful phrase to use, why we wouldn't use it in our school, etc. And it doesn't mean that not all of you children are important. Of course it doesn't mean that, and we can absolutely unpack why that is and discuss that together. So yeah, I agree. There will be parents at home. We've got a racist person here joining us that's, you know, showing us that people are using this phrase. So but we know how to challenge this. So we want to know how the school is going to challenge it. That's something you might want to put in your letter. How are you going to respond if somebody says all lives matter, etc., etc.? So we've got lots in the pipeline. Obviously continuing to share stories of Black, Indigenous, people of colour on our page. We are going to continue with you know, posting things that we think are going to be helpful for people in everyday life, in their learning. There are some fantastic books coming out. Someone's put Me and White Supremacy by Layla Saad. She's writing a manual for teenagers based on that book. That's going to be incredible. We've got Sophie Williams from Official Millennial Black is bringing out her anti-racism allyship book, which is going to be brilliant. We are very lucky that we've got an early copy that we're going to be able to read and give you the feedback on. So we're very excited to read that. And that's coming out. It's going to be a great, like, pocket size book that you can buy for people and obviously buy for yourself as well. Nova Reid has got her book coming out next year. The allyship book, which is going to be incredible. I mean, Nova Reid, if you're not following her, you need to, because she has been doing this for a very long time and is very wise, very experienced. And I think you can pre-order her book. And you can also pre-order Sophie's book as well. So there's lots of exciting things coming up, and we have got a couple of really exciting projects that we will keep you posted with as well. And just a big thank you to everybody who has donated to our PayPal, because we launched that last week. As you probably know, we have jobs on this, you know, this is something we do at the moment on the side. What White People Can Do Next, another book that's coming out. Brilliant. Thank you for that. And so when we spend time on everyday racism, we're not paid for any of that work. We've started to do some public speaking and things like that, which is good. But so some people have very kindly donated to our PayPal just to kind of help us with the costs and the overheads that we have, and our time for running the page. So if you did, or you have, or you're going to, thank you so much. Thank you.
It's very kind.
We really do appreciate that. Nats, anything? I've done a lot of talking. Sorry,
but no, I think it's probably more. It's more your area anyway, so it makes sense that you've done a lot of talking, and you know. But I just so grateful for everyone, and like I say, we've still got a lot of work to do. But you know, I know that there's so many people on board to do it. So, and thank you for the support as well. So we'll keep going and keep doing our best, and
someone's put, thank you for telling us about PayPal. I had no idea, and will definitely be donating. That's really kind. Thank you. The link is in our bio. There's a you've got the PayPal details are there. Someone's put, how long does it take to make these graphics? Some of our posts can take a week to write and research and design and prepare. Some take a few days, it depends, because we don't put out things on a whim. We really plan and think about it. We're not just putting stuff out for the sake of it. And there have been times when we've created things and we've thought, no, it's not right. And we're not just doing it because we think that will get loads of likes and follows and things. We do it because we really actually believe in what we're putting out. That's true. So we would never just do it and, to just get something out quickly. And we have a friend who very kindly designs one post a week for us, and he does that free of charge. And he obviously puts in time and effort into doing that, and he's great, and he doesn't ever want the credit, but we really appreciate him. He's amazing. Your content's top quality. Oh, thank you. That's really kind. Thank you. Please save. We'll save it, we'll pop it up for you.
Great. Right, we'll let you get back to your Sunday evening.
To your Sunday evening. Thanks so much.
Thanks for tuning in.
Tuning in this evening, guys. We love you.
Take care.